Well, here's the subject of the video, a 1981 Buick LeSabre. I should show you the rest of it, I guess. We got wheel covers to put on it. It's in the shop, so it's hard to get the whole picture. But anyways, it's just a project car. But the main problem that we're gonna try to fix, is somebody jacked into the trunk here and ripped out the trunk latch. So best way to make a repair on this is to cut the old sheet metal out and replace it with some new sheet metal, which I fabbed up a piece already. I just took some regular sheet metal and I actually took a panel, the full piece panel. Probably should have actually come in farther on it, started in farther, but I left it on the panel and then found a socket that's pretty close to what size I wanted. Laid it in there. Got a bolt, some washers. Laid that in there, of course centered, the way it's supposed to be. Then I run a washer and a nut on the back side of it. Of course that pushed it in a little bit. And then those notches I had to put in there, I had to use a file, small file. I don't even know where that's at, but anyways, there's this lock cylinder, and of course, as you can see, there's the notches I had to put into it. And let's see here, it goes this way. It's always fun one-handed, huh? Well, regardless, this lock cylinder basically slides in there once it's going, I guess. Fits a little snug. That's pretty close. It's not exactly perfect right now because I had to bend it to make the contour of the trunk. It's got like a V in it. So it's not sitting perfectly flat like it should be, but once we get it welded in and everything, of course, get your slide that slides over it, lock it in. But anyways, get this out. That won't come out probably. But anyways, I'm going to orient the keys so the notches go down. But anyways, basically try to go through the process here, but you basically need to line up where the old one was and mark around the patch piece and cut the old sheet metal out and weld in the new piece, and then try to get it all lined up perfect so it will accept the new lock cylinder. So I guess we'll see how it goes. It may be hard to see, but I have scribed the line around the outside of where I want to cut the old sheet metal out, and I'm going to cut well on the inside of that and then test fit my panel, my little piece, and that way I can get a tight fit for my weld. And the other thing that you also would want to check before starting to make any cuts is make sure there's no other sheet metal on the inside that you don't know about. You don't want to be wrecking something that you don't want to, and I think on this one we're alright, so we will proceed with cutting. Now I got it cut out with a cutoff wheel, just a regular cutoff wheel. And another trick to get in the corners, since a lot of times you can't get the corners very good, is you can use the vice grips and like a hacksaw blade, and that way you can get into the tight spots and finish it off. Just a tip. There's just a shot of the patch panel, just kind of sitting in there. I kind of got it pretty good where it's, fits in there pretty good. I'm just using the magnet to kind of hold it. And I don't know if you'll be able to see very good, but yeah, it's not going to show very good probably, but the fit's not too bad. I'm not really looking to get a perfect blend or make it look perfect. I was just trying to get a functional lock cylinder back in there. Fortunate enough on this car to have the electronic solenoid, the little button in the trunk to pop it open, so that's what I've been doing to make sure I can open it. But without replacing it, anybody with a screwdriver could get the trunk open if they wanted to, which there's nothing in here right now anyway, but if you ever decide to put something in the trunk, it'd be nice to be able to lock it. So alright, well, that's kind of how it fits. Start doing some welding and show you what it looks like after that. Well, here we are. We got the patch panel tacked in for now. Just it doesn't have to be perfect. The main thing is just try to get the seam in such a fashion that when you use plastic filler, you can try to like smooth it out. Like this isn't going to be perfect on mine anyway. I don't really, doesn't have to look perfect for this anyway. But I guess the one thing I didn't talk about before was I used like 80 grit sandpaper and feathered around the edge of it, so when you weld, you're not burning up the paint and everything. That kind of makes a mess. And the other thing, so just a good habit to get into is just disconnect your battery on your car. I'm not even sure if it would make much difference on this car. I know it does have some computer on it, so it's got a computer controlled carburetor to adjust the lean for the choke and everything, but it's just a good habit to get into, because some of the newer vehicles, if you try to weld on them with the battery hooked up and the computer all hooked up, you just fry the whole works. So it's just not a bad idea to just unhook the battery whenever you do any work like that. But anyway, just thought I'd show you where I was at on it. So, and I'll continue and we'll see what happens from there.